I just want to say welcome to episode 156 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Let's talk about suspension stuff. Donna, what did you mean an hour and a half ago when you said you guessed right on your suspension? What did you mean? How did you?
So not being at Great Bend for a while and remembering it from years ago, we showed up there and I was thinking the track was going to be just phenomenal, and my car wouldn't get down it. I struggled.
Well, dude, you were the first car down.
I was the first car on the track, which, I mean, being rowdy, I usually am. I mean,
Yep.
Tulsa, both years I was, and it's pretty normal. So I figured the car would do okay. I didn't put something in there that I thought was too insane, but I thought it was going to be a pretty hot tune-up, and it didn't. And then even on the 511 pass that I turned in that day, it wasn't happy. It rolled traction control curve and it wasn't happy. So I just okay, must be the track isn't quite what I was thinking it was. It's super fresh. There isn't a whole lot of prep on it yet, whatever, something. So I get to Kearney, and I've typically had good luck at Kearney, and I could not get down that track to save my life. And everything I did, nothing worked. Nothing worked. So I have a new converter this year in the car and changed first gear, did a bunch of changes, changed some rear end brackets, put my torque boxes and all that in it. And I finally just thought, I'm like, all right, I need to do a bar change. Something's wrong on the car. It's not both tracks, it's the car. And so when I showed up to Pueblo, I did a bar change, put a little bit more upper bar angle in it, and hit it way harder, which I found out is a big thing when you put a nice converter in a car finally, is you have to hit it hard enough. If you don't hit it hard enough, it's just going to block right away, and it's going to knock the tire off at 0.6, which is what I was doing every single time. So just kind of guessed. I did exactly what you don't want to do. I did a bar angle adjust, a shock adjust, leave adjust, RPM adjust, boost ramp adjust, everything. Changed it all, and it just worked. So I got lucky. Wow. Really lucky.
Interesting. So, who do you talk to about that stuff? Or, were you just thinking about that as you're making that drive?
I have a couple people that I talk to and give me pointers here and there, but most of it was just, I'm doing something wrong, so let's just try it all and see what happens.
Interesting. Wow. How cool. Anybody else make crazy changes to their suspension stuff? Do you want to give details for here?
Yeah, we made crazy changes. Well, we already talked about that.
Yeah. During the week, did you struggle or anything? You went down pretty good both passes. I think I saw at Great Bend, right?
Me?
Yeah.
No. We didn't really get a clean pass, I think, until we were up against Brad. Was our first truly clean pass of the week, and it wasn't where we wanted it to be by any means.
Yeah, thanks for that, Jason.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, we fought it all week. We have a lot of work to do on the suspension, figuring it out, and we need test time and new wheel tubs.
Damn. So are you saying you showed the taillights to two of the people that are on this panel right here? Is that what you're saying?
I wasn't saying it that way.
You did.
Well, that's the way it goes sometimes.
Only chance I had was not to have a clean pass for him, and he had a very clean pass. It looked good.
Wow.
And I was just super stoked that that Nathan had a PB and Brad and Dustin both knocked the tires off trying to run me down. I'm like, if that's the way that it's gonna come down to that, I want guys doing personal bests and blowing tires off trying to beat me, because it's anybody's race any day. We've screwed it up before.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. I just had a question. I can't remember what it was for. Done, but I don't know. I'll think about it here in just a second. What haven't we talked about? I feel like I've just been all over the place. You guys have done great tonight. What haven't we talked about from Rocky? Oh, 4-second passes, bro. Come on.
Yeah. I've been trying. I got to get my life figured out.
That's all right, man.
It would have. So at Pueblo, once I made the big adjust and I started getting my timing dump and all that out of it, the car was going about 800s faster every adjust, and I ended up turning a 505 in there, I think. So I think one more pass in Pueblo, and I'd have probably got that 4. But at that point, I was sitting at a point where I couldn't get caught in Rowdy for first place, and I had the 400-mile drive to go. So, and I mean, my wife especially was like, just make another pass. I'm like, no. My luck, I know what's going to happen. So
it's always the one more.
Yeah. Just saved the car and made sure I could make the drive. And I was hoping to get it in the shootout, but then I knew Mark was figuring out his car in a hurry. He started the week just not putting much power in it, and I knew that. I talked to him a bunch, and I'm like, man, as soon as he figures out how much power he needs to put in that car, it's going to be fast.
Yeah.
And he did. All week, he got faster and faster. And he showed up to Pueblo and shaved 3/10 just in one pass. I'm like, we're good. So I knew the shootout was going to be super close, and so I didn't want to get too much at it, especially with Great Bend not being the best. I knew in the bye run that I got, it went down and it took everything all right. So I did steepen stuff up a little bit, hoping I was going to get a little bit more out of it. I ended up picking up, I think, 4 miles an hour over my first pass. So I put some more power in it. It didn't take it as much down low. Honestly, I never even pulled the log to see what it did down low. It's still, I put the car in the trailer and was done. So still got to kind of see what it did.
1,400 miles in a car.
Hour, so it picked up some power.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. AFCO Racing, racers know when you want performance that wins, you want AFCO. From shocks and suspension to cooling brakes and more, AFCO Racing has been helping teams go faster for over 30 years. Built by racers for racers. Check out the advantage and follow them today on social media for the latest in performance parts. AFCO Racing, built to win. Yeah. 1,400 miles in the car. Have you guys even got in them again since you've been back?
I drove it in the shop.
Pulled it off the trailer, drove it in the garage. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what's so great about these events. You know, I probably never would drive this car if it wasn't for these events, really.
Yeah.
It's great to have these to go to and get a chance to use your vehicle, actually race them and drive them.
Actually use them more than being just a straight race of,
yeah.
You know, it comes out of a trailer, you tow it to the line, you tow it back. I would personally lose interest in a car if that's what it was for me. Like I have to have that drive aspect and be able to drive to town if I want to, or, you know, a week of just an event instead of show up to a race for a weekend to get 3 passes all weekend and that's it. So
how tough would that be?
Yeah.
At least this way, if you only get 5 passes in a week, it's because you also drove 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Mike Dingy asking here, VanderMeer next year. Yeah. I mean, as we're here, and that's what the plan is to be back at VanderMeer. And then Jason and Nico, there's one going in Greeley or something, right?
So, I mean, obviously we have VanderMeer going in. That's about 45 minutes from my shop, which we're super excited about. There's also one going in at Colorado National Speedway. It's an 8th mile asphalt, full no prep type of deal. So, I mean, obviously we'll never see a Rocky Mountain Race Week there.
Yeah.
I'm not real sure what we'll see for, you know, fast no prep racing there either. We're definitely interested to see it open up and see what happens there.
Yeah, prove the point there, but I don't know if cars will be super fast. But hey, at least it'll be one spot you can go out and at least run through the gears in full throttle, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. Probably not your car, but maybe Mike Brook go there.
We've done some no prepping with my car. I really enjoy no prepping. What's yet to be seen is it sounds like the shutdown's only going to be 1,000 foot. 1,000 foot shutdown. So we gotta kind of see how fast that track's going to be and whether or not it'd be smart for us to run my car there.
Right.
So I've seen you guys win 23 race week and then go and do Steel City and then win that as well. So
that is absolutely accurate.
Yeah. I remember that. It's the first event I did in my car. So
that's awesome. Yeah, there's like a 300 or 400 foot track in California, I think, that's just, you know, mainly built more for street cars, you know, DOT tire type stuff. And I think they do pretty well. I mean, I follow them on Facebook to see how it works, and who knows? I mean, listen, we'll take all we can, because then all it takes is one senator or congressman to go out there and enjoy themselves, and then suddenly, you know, they get state funding or something. I am excited about VanderMeer, and that'll be the last part as we close out here. But VanderMeer is going to be a big deal because they have a full vision for that whole thing. It's like, what would you say, 1,100 acres or some shit like that? And the old one was like 70 acres or something crazy.
It's going to be insane. I think they're doing like a full facility, brand new facility for it, which is going to be like purpose built, which is going to be incredible. Like, I love VanderMeer. I hope it still has the vibe of the original VanderMeer, which is going to be difficult to replicate, but they'll find a way. Hopefully it'll be as good as the old one.
Yeah, I think this new place is going to be what we've needed as far as like dragging. Like it's a full facility. Like it'll have storage and warehousing and all that kind of stuff. I think that will help grow a lot, and then also protect them too. You know, it'll be much harder to encroach with houses as they get close.
Right.
Wow. Mike says the new parking lot is almost the size of the mountain. That'll be nice to have something that's, you know, built by a team that is just truly, you know, I mean, they live it and have lived it for a long, long time. So, this should be one of the nicest places I would think in the country. And we know they'll be able to lay down some of the right stuff. So, all right, anything else we've forgotten to go over about Rocky Mountain Race Week or anything else? Tom, when are you coming back? When are we going to see next?
I should be.
2.0?
I might be back. I might be back for Drag Week and co-piloting. We'll see. But otherwise, PRI is the next thing.
Gotcha. Damn, that's a long time, dude.
Yeah, the funds really got drained on Race Week on 1.0. I shouldn't have looked, but I did because I need to go grocery shopping this week before I get paid. So I kind of had to see how much I could groceries for.
So you gotta. It's a good thing they don't sell cookies over there. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, well, yeah, and then they paid the cost in my mom and grandma, so we ran theirs with dinner, so I don't have to buy groceries for that day.
Nice.
Tom needs a grocery sponsorship.
Yeah,
He needs a wife. He needs a sugar mama, is what he needs. That lives here in the States.
Maybe you can get Kraft as mac and cheese as a sponsor or something.
yes.
Yeah.
Chips Ahoy.
The Chips Ahoy sponsors.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome for telling stories and stuff like that. So, for everybody, I mean, is there anybody that has some places people can follow you on social and see all your adventures?
Yeah. Go ahead, Brett.
BTX3 Racing for us on Facebook. That's about it.
Yeah, I just have my normal page.
Nice. What about you?
Yeah.
Just Facebook.
Yep.
And then
Facebook and Instagram, both Meltdown Racing.
Nice. And then Nico Christofri, is that how I say your last name? Have I been
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
that
just
the
Nico
whole time?
Christofri on all platforms is where you will find me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tom?
Yep, and Tom Bagley on Facebook and Bags96 on Instagram and YouTube.
Sweet. All right, I'm going to kick you guys backstage. You're more than welcome to hang out. We can talk after this, but we'll shut it down. Thank you all very much for coming on tonight. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, thank
Take
you,
care.
Mike.
All right, y'all. What a fun night, dude. Thank you for coming on and doing this with me, man. I appreciate that. It literally a couple of hours ago, I'm like, hey, Eric is having too much fun to come on tonight. Can you? And you're like, fine, I'll take a nap. Did you take a nap?
No, I didn't take a nap. And actually, it's probably the worst thing to do is go for a nap because it's 3 o'clock in the morning right now, and I'm actually not that tired. So
That's awesome.
That's
So
the
what time do you have to
concerning
be at
bit.
work? What time do you have to be at work?
I had to be working 6 hours.
Oh my gosh, dude, you'll be
Yeah.
fine. 6 hours
I'll be
more
fine.
sleep than you
That's-
got all week.
It is 5 hours of sleep. That's a
Yes.
lie-in.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for being our race car friends. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate everybody doing all the stuff they did, all the comments tonight, man. It was awesome. It kind of helped spur me on for some of the conversation. I didn't do a very good job of making notes, but man, when you got these badasses on the show, makes it easy. And of course, thank you to our sponsors for all they do for us here and for the stuff they help with in the sport. So Summit Racing, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, and Low Dollar Motorsports, and of course, Power Tube TV and Racing Junk Classifieds. All right, guys, Eric will be back on Saturday. I don't know if we'll do a show Saturday, to be honest. I have the 2-lane throwdown, so that could be kind of tough. Maybe Eric will just host for this, and I don't know, maybe he hits Tom up and sees if he wants to do it.
You can say I am free Saturday. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Nice.
Saturday works well for me because it's mid-afternoon. So
Nice. All right. Well, cool. All right, guys. Thanks, Tom. See you, buddy.
take care.
One of the best things about Tom being on tonight is he is one of our race car friends. So like I say this every week, like, thank you for being our race car friends. Thank you for all the stuff you guys do for us. Tom is one of those people that does that stuff for us, and other folks are going to be on tonight. So it's going to be kind of fun hanging out with them, and the comments I'm sure are going to pop off as they are already because you are in here. So it's going to be awesome. And then of course, thank you to our sponsors who make all of this possible. Without those guys, without these folks on the screen, we couldn't do what we do here. So just want to run through them real quick. Summit Racing, of course, title sponsor of the show, the news, and the circuit. I mean, they're a big part of not just what we do here, but all of Drag and Drive, not just sponsors, but also racers. Tommy Dupree, Jim Greenleaf are racing at Drag Week, dude. This is going to be fun. Tommy's new car, he did turn and burn in it. I mean, dude, this thing's going to be nuts. I can't wait to get my hands all over it and look at it and touch it. Of course, Deechworks, the official fuel delivery of Drag Drive Repeat, but also the official fuel delivery of UK Tom as well, bro.
Oh yeah.
Big part of that 951.
Yeah, put that system to work, and we went 990s at like 8,500 feet VA. So didn't need it there, but we needed it down south, and yeah,
That's for sure. Molly Motorsports, of course, best stuff, best pistons in the game, pistons, rings, all that kind of cool stuff. They've got Driven Racing Oil, who's at Six Summer right now in the truck and their brand new trailer. And Eric, if you're watching this, I need footage of the trailer, bro. We need footage of the Driven trailer that's up there. Of course, Howard's Cams, our boy Luke B over there, valve train specialist. I mean, that dude can get stuff done. The old truck running Howard's Cam stuff. J-Wire Solutions, who's on Six Summer right now. So you can call the shop. People are going to answer. They're still doing work that week, but Jay Blanchard of J Wire Solutions is working right now, leading the 6th Street Race class. AFCO Performance Products, of course, Eric and Rex French over there, bro. If you want to go fast, is AFCO suspension's the way to go. Performer built transmissions, GM transmission builders. They put a 4L60 in the 7s. I know I say that every time, but it still blows my mind, dude. It's still pretty wild.
Crazy. Absolutely insane.
Yeah. Car Change 3D. Big shout out to Corey Nicholson, who made a post that I thought was really cool. He said, what should we do for these drag and drive guys? What are products that we can put out? So I've got some ideas whirling around in my head. Best 3D printing folks out there in the game, and Low Dollar Motorsports. Do you have a couple Low Dollar Motorsports sensors?
I do. We have a couple of Low Dollar Motorsport sensors. Got the boost pressure sensor, wastegate pressure, oil pressure, which isn't actually wired up, but it's there, and shifter sensor. So yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. Well, guys, if you're doing some shopping, hit these guys up. Help support them. Help support us. All that kind of fun stuff.